Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be talking a little bit about Gemma Redgrave's recent comment on Good Morning Britain. She spoke about returning to Doctor Who, and she even mentioned the Unit spin-off, and apparently that she wasn't aware of it. But before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny-tiny little favour and click that subscribe button, it'd be very much appreciated. We do regular Doctor Who content here on the channel, so if you enjoy that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, make sure you are subscribed, because YouTube has been having a weird thing where it does genuinely glitch you and unsubscribe, but just make sure that you are subscribed if you want to be subscribed. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it does help me out. But with that said, let's get into the video. Gemma Redgrave talks returning to Doctor Who, so I gotta thank TV Zone for putting this quote up, but obviously it was from Good Morning Britain originally. Gemma Redgrave returns as Kate Lethbridge Stewart, and Unit, the long-running organisation set on defending Earth, returns in the next series of Doctor Who. So yeah, we've known this for some time, Unit's returning, we all know that. Speaking on Good Morning Britain today, Thursday the 7th of September, obviously by the time you guys see this it'll be a little bit later than that, Gemma said, "I don't know anything about a spin-off, but I have been asked back, and I have done one episode in Series 14. It's such a wonderful thing to be part of the family, and I've never taken it for granted that I will be brought back. It was absolutely tremendous, and to be part of Russell T Davies's new vision is exciting. I haven't yet got to work with Ncuti. I've worked with Millie, but hopefully, who knows, that will happen." So a couple of interesting points to note here is obviously she mentions that she hasn't worked with Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor yet. This does line up with public filming that we've seen where she's only been with Millie Gibson on set. This implies that the Doctor isn't as involved with the Unit stuff in Series 14 as perhaps Millie is. Maybe they reach out to Millie instead of the Doctor for some reason, I'm not sure why. Some people have suggested that it could lead to a Doctor Light episode, however I'm not sure there's too much evidence of that yet. Given Ncuti's busy schedule surrounding Series 14 and how a lot of the filming for Series 14 early on was very Millie Gibson focused, I could see them doing a thing where it actually turns out that actually there is one Doctor Light episode, which I know some people will be like, okay, but we've only got 8 episodes, we want to see this Doctor. Personally, I think we're going to be seeing plenty of Ncuti Gatwa over the next few years, so I wouldn't worry about that. But these are all hypotheticals anyway. There genuinely might not be a Doctor Light episode, and I could just be speculating there. I mean, it's also entirely possible that she's just lying and she has in fact worked with Ncuti Gatwa in Series 14, but it's just in a private capacity, i.e. out of public view, not public filming, so that's why we haven't seen her filming with Ncuti Gatwa yet. And in fact, the finale to Series 14 does seem to have Ncuti and Millie in some sort of army gear, so if they were going to team up with Unit together, that would make total sense. Not to mention that Bonnie Langford is also back, who very recently, in Power of the Doctor, kind of suggested, you know, maybe she could become part of Unit, which was one of the final lines of Power of the Doctor. So that would make total sense to me if that's the way Ncuti and Gemma Redgrave meet, via a finale scenario in which they're both needed, and perhaps she's the one to reintroduce the Doctor to Mel, or maybe she just brings the muscle to a situation the Doctor thinks he has handled, but it goes wrong. The more interesting thing, though, is what she says about spin-off. So as you know, it has been long rumoured that a Unit spin-off is set to release sometime in the near future. Nicola Metvan, who, as I said in a previous video, is very much a reliable source when it comes to Doctor Who leaks and information, reported as so in the Mirror a while back. And Jenna here is saying that I don't know anything about a spin-off. So, a lot of people are taking this as confirmation that a Unit spin-off is not happening. And whilst we do not know officially about a Unit spin-off yet, I do think it's worth bearing in mind. If a Unit spin-off did exist, she's not exactly going to come out publicly and go, yeah, I'm doing that. They'll have NDAs and agreements to where they can't say things publicly. In fact, Catherine Tate, just before she was announced to be coming back as Donna, played all coy about, oh, I'd certainly like to come back if they wanted me.
Now, Catherine, there's a rumour going around, apparently, that you might return in the, was it the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who? Any of these rumours?
Is there? Oh, I've probably started a lot of them, but what can I tell you? No, I wish it was.
Is there anything you can tell us?
Nothing.
Well, no one's been in touch if they have.
All right.
Okay. Well,
We tried.
I'm on the same number, I'd just like to say. So, if you've got the money, I've got the time.
It's the Andrew Garfield werewolf thing. Just because a actress or actor doesn't say something doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening. With that having been said, though, it is also important to point out the unit spin-off is not a 100% guarantee yet, and I do think that some of the reports of unit stuff filming this year might have been exaggerated slightly. I could see them maybe waiting until Series 14 had released, so they can kind of gauge public reception to that before jumping into spin-off land, which personally I'd prefer a more cautious approach, not because I think RTD could have botched it or anything like that. I genuinely think that this era is going to be wildly popular, but more so just because I think having that element of caution there is wise, just because whilst I think his era is going to be fantastic, I want to make sure that Doctor Who is in a good place first. Do you know what I mean? It's just that stability. And that's something that RTD2 has been screaming recently is stability, you know. We're getting a series every year, sort of a regular sort of filming schedule, a Christmas special alongside that series every year. And I just want them to keep, even with spin-offs, that level of, I suppose, not getting too far ahead of things, keeping on top of things, and not giving themselves too much to work with at one time, because then you'll like run the risk of like lowering the quality as well. And Russell T Davies himself has said keeping the plate spinning of Doctor Who, Sarah Jane Adventures, and Torchwood was very hard for him in the old days. So yeah, I want them to go slow and steady with spin-offs, but I also would like to see some spin-offs. So I don't think that this completely deconfirms them, like I've seen some people say. However, they still do exist within that rumour territory. They're not confirmed yet. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think we'll see a unit spin-off? What are your thoughts on Gemma Redgrave not having worked with Shooter yet? Do you think that that's an implication that we might get a Dr. Light episode? Whatever your thoughts are, drop them down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.